Hello all. Today we'll have a discussion on the topic conventional versus non-cash working capital. So there are 5 questions which we are trying to answer in this video. Question number 1 is what is working capital? Question number 2 is what is conventional working capital? Question number 3 is what are non-cash current assets? Question number 4 is what are non-interest bearing current liabilities? And the last one is what is non-cash working capital? What is working capital? That is question number 1, right? Yeah. So it is basically nothing but funds needed in meeting the day-to-day operation requirements of a business entity. So the focus of working capital is on operating activities. So it is not on investing activities, it is not on speculative requirements, right? So that means a business may need funds for investment activities, speculative activities, and operating activities. While we are talking about working capital management, we are focusing only on the operating activities and not on investing and speculative activities, right? Yeah. So I take you to the second question. That's a very interesting question indeed. So we want to know what is conventional working capital, right? So it is basically the difference between current assets and current liabilities. The formula is very simple, which I have written here. So that is current assets minus current liabilities is going to give you conventional working capital, right? So if you want to find out the conventional working capital, for example, for Reliance Industries Limited, right, or for Marico Limited, or for Sun Pharmaceutical Limited, right? So what you have to do is you have to just go to their balance sheet for that particular quarter or year and simply look at what is the total current assets of that company in that year or in that quarter minus what is the current liability of that company in that period. You will get what is the conventional working capital, right? So what does it mean? That means current assets include all these components like cash, marketable securities, other short-term investments. Please look at the difference. Marketable securities are tradable in the market. That means you can buy and sell in the market, whereas other short-term investments may not be having that marketability feature. That means you may need to hold them till their maturity period of 1 year, right? And the next one is accounts receivable, AR, then inventories, then other current asset. Example is prepaid expenses, right? So all these things are coming under current assets, and the components of current liabilities are these, right? Accounts payable, which is otherwise known as AP, accrued expenses, example for that is salaries payable, right, and outstanding taxes, and then you have short-term bank loans, right, and then you have current portion of long-term debt, which we call it as CPLTD, right, and then short-term provisions. So all these things are coming under current liability for an Indian company, right? So if you move to the next question, that is what are non-cash current assets, right? I will tell you why we are talking about non-cash current assets a little later, right? So current assets excluding cash and cash equivalents and short-term investments. Cash equivalents are investments with short-term duration up to a maturity period of 90 days. But you also have investments beyond 90 days going up to 1 year. So that is coming under the heading of short-term investments, right? So all of them are in the form of cash or near cash. So they are not included in the definition of non-cash current assets, right? So what does it mean? That means these 3 items are coming under the classification of non-current, non-cash current assets. Example is accounts receivable, inventories, and prepaid expenses, right? So the question now is this: why do we exclude cash and near cash items in the computation of working capital, right? There are 2 reasons for that, right? Reason number 1 is this: working capital deals with estimating the requirement of funds for operating activities. So that means we don't want to know what is the requirement of funds for investment or speculative activities. That is why we are excluding cash and near cash items in our working capital computation. The second thing is cash and near cash, current assets do not have opportunity cost. That means what? They earn fair returns. So that means the benefit and cost of cash and non-cash, cash and near cash, items are almost same. So that means there is no loss of money There is no right economic disadvantage. That is why we are not considering cash and near cash items in the computation of working capital. Yeah. So I take you to the next question, right? So what are the non-interest bearing current liabilities, right? That basically include two items. One is your accounts payable and the other one is your accrued expenses. That means they exclude these two items, basically three items. One is short-term bank loans or debt, short-term debt, right? The debt can consist of bank loans or right obligations, right, with other parties. So that means right in terms of money. So that means it is both bank loan as well as debt. And then you have current portion of long-term debt and then provisions, right? So these three are not included in the computation of working capital, right? So the first two, that is short-term debt and current portion of long-term debt, are included in the computation of cost of capital. If we are going to include these two again in working capital computation, then that means we are going to double count these items, right? Which will not help us in arriving at the right valuation of company or arriving at value for any decision, right? That's why we don't take these two items in the computation of working capital, right? On the other hand, we don't consider provisions because they are not related to operating activities. Basically, they are going to help the entity in meeting the future requirements. So we don't consider. Another argument I can give for that is it is basically a non-cash item. When we talk about value of firms or when we talk about finance, we are interested in cash flow. That means provisions are not going to help us in terms of right finding out the cash flow impact. So perhaps that is why we are not considering provisions, right, in the computation of working capital, right? So let me take you to the last question of this right video. That is, we want to know how much is a non-cash working capital for a firm, right? So how can we find out that? Very simple. It is non-cash current assets minus non-interest bearing current liabilities. Non-cash current assets include these three subcomponents, namely accounts receivable, inventory, and prepaid expenses. Non-interest bearing current liabilities include only two items, accounts payable and accrued expenses. Let me give some numerical for each one of the component. Let us assume accounts receivable is 500 crores, inventory 300 crores, prepaid expenses 100 crores, accounts payable 300 crores, and accrued expenses 200 crores for a hypothetical entity. So if we have to find out what is a non-cash working capital for this firm, it is going to be right 500 plus 300 plus 100, all these non-cash current assets minus sum of the non-interest bearing current liabilities, that is 300 and 200, that is equal to 500, right? So that means 900 minus 500 is going to give us INR 400 lakhs, right? So that is going to be the non-cash working capital for the hypothetical firm, right? Yeah. So that's it, guys. So that means in this video, right, we have answered 5 questions basically, namely, right, what is working capital and what is conventional working capital, what are non-cash, right, right, current assets. It's not working capital, rather it is non-cash, right, current assets. Then we were talking about what are non-interest bearing current liabilities, and then we are talking about what is non-cash working capital. See you in the next video. Take care.